Let's get to Eunice, Yoon, in Beijing for the trade buzz from China. In reaction there to a new House bill that would require President Trump to toughen his response on some of the human rights abuses. Another bill, Eunice.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. You know, just wanting to weigh in a bit on what you guys were discussing with Eamon on that Bloomberg report, just based on what my sources in China have said, they already thought that they had an agreement on a tariff rollback over a month ago, or about a month ago, on November 7th. That's when the Commerce Ministry, if you remember, had said that there was going to be a phase out of these tariffs, and said it quite proudly. But then the next day, President Trump had backed away from it. So I think it's probably worth taking this latest report with a grain of salt until, until we actually see ink hit paper. But, and then on top of that now, you had mentioned this bill, this latest bill in Congress. The Chinese are really, really angry about it. The background of it is that the House of Representatives have passed a bill that is highly critical of the way China treats its local Muslim population in the far western part of the country. So these people are called the Uyghurs. China has been accused of detaining about 1 million of them. China has said that they don't detain them in camps, as has been alleged. Instead, that they keep them in training centers where they're voluntarily there for re-education. But the Chinese were really, really angry. And it's just very evident in the official comments as well as in the state media about Congress's decision to pass that bill. The foreign ministry very quickly this morning had criticized the bill, saying that this was an anti-terrorism tactic, also saying that the U.S. needed to stop interfering, stop the bill from becoming a law, they said that they could respond even further if necessary. There was no detail of what that actually means, but based on some of the remarks yesterday in the state press, it looks as though they're suggesting that this could mean that China is going to speed up its unreliable entities list. And the background of that is that there's a lot of people who think that could mean something bad could happen to American companies such as Federal Express. So, they're just they're really, really frustrated right now with what all this means. But I have to say, though, that one thing that was interesting was in the foreign ministry's response towards the Uyghurs, because the human rights issues such as Hong Kong and the Uyghurs have not been linked to the trade deal so far. So that indicates that China still wants to see a trade deal because it sees the benefit of that for the economy. But today, the ministry said that the Congress bill on the Uyghurs will affect cooperation between the two countries in important areas. So that's just about as close as we've seen so far. Eunice, Beijing
I think
saying
we know
that
that's
angry.
We have intelligence that is not true, that these are re-education, narrowing the skills gap, learning code, software code. That's not what's happening. So when they tell us that, and we're probably off the air again, but when they tell us that with a straight face, why should we believe anything during the trade talks? That's like Baghdad Bob. We know that's not what's happening in these camps. We know that. So when they tell us that with a straight face, then why do we believe anything? And why are they surprised that the House is passing something?
Well, they will be. Well, I mean, from China's perspective, they are very insistent that this type of re-education has been very successful to stop terrorism. And today, again, they laid out a number of incidents. They said, well, from this year to this year, we haven't had any terrorist attacks. And, the population there is quite happy with the fact that we don't have terrorist attacks. So, it's difficult to argue when they say that they don't have, that this is all necessary.